Welcome to another episode of the Business in Bed podcast, starring your host, me, and David,
Hey,
my husband. Today, for our guest, we have me. Hit it.
Before we get too far, I want you to know that back by popular demand is the queen of everything cup. That's me. Cheers. So, Jamie, I have always been so impressed by what you've built.
I know.
Right? So tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what you've done and what you do for work.
I'm Jamie. I am a wedding photographer, and I shoot weddings. What else?
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you got your start. Why did
How
you
I
get
got
into
my
that?
start.
Yeah.
Well, I went to college,
She's very long-winded, as you can tell.
as one does, and I just wanted to marry him. I
Naturally,
didn't want to go to
as
school.
Most women would.
Okay. So, we are high school sweethearts, for those of you who don't know. So, went to college, didn't really want to get a degree in anything. So, I got a very dumb degree, which we can talk about later. But then I did end up buying a DSLR camera, and
that makes everyone a photographer.
I took a class.
Oh, okay.
And in that class, we had to do projects where we would take pictures of something in our dorm room, a portrait or something.
So I'll never forget the picture that you took of us with the index card stuck on my
Post
feet.
it, no. I'll post it. It's great.
It's awesome. You should kind of edit it into this and
I don't know how to do that.
I know.
So anyways, the host doesn't know how to stop talking. So I would take these pictures and everyone was like, Jamie, you're so creative. And I was like, I know. And I was in a college that was really small, and
Why are you getting into all this? Just
You
tell
told
us
me
about
to-
your career.
then I started shooting weddings the end.
Okay, so one of the things that I think is really neat is that we've moved several times, and that's been a part of your business story, and I think that sets you apart from some wedding photographers. But before we get into that, talk to me a little bit about why weddings specifically.
So before I had kids, I did all the things. I shot for magazines, I did portraits, I did a lot of editorial stuff, I did bloggers, fashion bloggers and stuff. And then I got pregnant and realized, okay, I can't do all the things because I have about 10 hours a week to do everything. And I didn't like shooting portraits because I didn't like having the crazy mom that was like, smile, look at the camera, smile. And then I didn't like I like doing the editorial stuff, the stuff for the magazines, but there's a lot of red tape. It's kind of 9 to 5, and I knew I just needed to be a little bit more flexible with my schedule with wanting to stay home with the boys. So really I chose weddings first because I thought I wanted to stay home. And then I soon realized I did not.
Did not want to do weddings? Or...
No, stay home. I love doing weddings.
Okay, all right.
And then also, I just love about weddings is that it's predictable in the sense that you know that there's going to be portraits, you know there's going to be family pictures, you know there's going to be a ceremony, but also every wedding is different. So it's enough variation, but also not what the heck am I going to run into this week? You kind of know what's going to happen.
Well, from a small business standpoint, I really love that word predictable, because I think any entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what type of business you're in, you're aiming for predictability. Predictability of cash in, cash out. And so you should be setting up your business in a way that's predictable. And so niching down into weddings allows you to create a really predictable system in your business. You still get the variation, like you said, but
yeah,
it's predictable. We know when the leads are coming in. We know when you're going to close the leads. We know when the season hits its highs versus its lows. So I think
Mhm.
that's pretty cool. Tell me about,
Hey guys.
go watch your movie, guys.
Say hi.
What is it?
And we're back.
We're back.
Okay, what were you saying?
So
My love.
tell me about your favorite wedding you ever shot.
Oh.
Your clients are watching.
Should have warned me. They're all my favorite.
Ding. Okay. So do you want to tell us about any other businesses you're involved in?
Sure, Dave. So, when I was shooting weddings, that wasn't the right words, but whatever. Brides kept saying they'd get their bouquet, the florist would deliver it, and they'd look at it and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's so beautiful. I don't want to throw it away at the end of the wedding day. And I just kept hearing that over and over and over and over again. And that's what happens to all your flowers. Unless you like designate someone to bring them to where do people go when they get old?
Cemetery.
No, not that old. like an old folks home. But what's the
Nursing home.
nursing home? I don't know if that's the PC word though. Whatever.
Assisted living.
Those places, you can have someone bring them there for you, but for the majority of weddings, they're just going to get thrown in the trash. So I was trying to think of a way to preserve wedding bouquets, but everything that I was finding online was just like super old school, like in a globe or I don't know, they were just old school. And so I started a bouquet preservation company that's called the Heirloom Bouquet. And what we do is we have brides ship their bouquets to us. And then we deconstruct the bouquet, we create a flat lay, we photograph it, and then we have a calligrapher do hand-drawn calligraphy to label each of the blooms. And then the couples can have it printed and framed, or printed matted and framed. So the whole shebang.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So what's the biggest thing you've learned being a small business owner?
Contracts are key.
Tell me more.
It's just nice to have a contract because it's not being mean when it's done up front. Everyone sees what's there. It's all laid out on the table. And then if anything happens, you can just say, referring back to clause 6, point A, da 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 da.
Wouldn't it usually go A6?
I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
Refer to Winnie Reese Law.
Yes.
You can
We'll talk about
shoot
that.
me $10 later.
So I think that's really important, and actually maybe might be something that would be valuable to our listening audience.
The followers.
Because all the followers. Because do you find that that's something that most creatives do?
Have contracts?
Yeah.
Smart ones.
Are the majority of creatives smart?
I sure hope so.
Okay. Good. Well, I'll take that off the table. Who's your biggest business influence?
I knew you were going to ask this question, so I was trying to think of someone, and I couldn't think of anyone as far as, like, business goes. The only person...
Wait. I know who you're going to say.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
Who?
Beyonce.
No, it's not her. Michelle Obama. And the reasoning why it's not political, so don't at me. But
My OG. Michelle Obama.
do you know what OG means?
No.
Original. So like,
Original gangster, Michelle Obama.
but she's your okay, whatever. So she is a strong woman who stands beside a strong man, and I think a lot of times there are strong men.
That you stand next to a strong man.
Okay,
I
I
get
was
what you're saying.
getting there.
Okay, all right, keep going.
She's a strong woman, stands next to a strong man. Oftentimes, if there's a strong man in the relationship, you don't know about the woman. Like, Will's the guy that talks like this. The politician. Bernie Sanders. Have you ever seen his wife? Yes, on that one commercial. But other than that, never. And so just when you see these like bigger names of these guys that like have these huge personalities, whatever, oftentimes, can you stop laughing?
I'm just thinking about your Bernie Sanders.
The woman is often like not shoved aside, but she's just like she's plays second fiddle, as they say. And I think she just done a really good job for herself and like supporting her husband, being there for her husband, but also being like, but I have my own life and I'm gonna thrive there too.
Awesome. Very cool. If you could teach people or tell people one thing that you've learned over the years that they could use, what would it be?
Teach or learn?
Teach or learn? I don't know. That was a really bad question.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Okay.
Next.
Tonight's episode has been brought to you by
Sure.
and the Queen of Everything Cup.
So, if you have a question or you want us to talk about something, just reach out to our
Are we going live tomorrow night?
No,
I think we're going live tomorrow night.
we're not.
We're going live on the Business in Bed podcast right here on Instagram.
This is
And
my
so-
podcast. We're not.
Yes, we are. We're taking questions. And so we can see all those like hearts flying up when people do the thing. I think that's awesome.
We're
So we'll
close
see
to-
you tomorrow at the Business in Bed podcast. Have a good night.